Hey everyone. So today we are going to work on content, and today we'll be working on the products route. And hey Mr. PhD, welcome to the stream. Uh, Deepopam also joined the stream. Yeah, I was working on this Saturday, and I kind of redesigned my whole stream, so whole channel. I also worked on creating different scenes in OBS, so I hope you guys like it. Hey Path, welcome to the stream. Thanks. Okay. So let's start working on the project. So I was um, working on how the product would look. Thanks, Mr. PhD. Good to see you too as well. Okay, so this is how a product will look like. A product will have a name, and we are hoping that the admin will use a name like basically if a product has a specific quantity or specific flavor, then he can just use it like a product, and he can use that identifier inside the name. That's how they used to do it for until now. So I am not making another field called description because they don't really need it. So a name we will be letting user to save a large number of string on the in the name field, so that will be fine, I guess. Then we will have a price. We will have foreign key for multiple foreign keys. Keys for the shop from where they want to buy it. And then there will be a nested object called order quantity, where we will keep track of order quantity for each store as well as for the total quantity, total order quantity which they want to buy. And the last field is image URL. So basically until now they just used to download image from internet, and they don't really need to pay for any storage services because they are just grabbing images from internet. So I think the I think the URL will be enough for images for of the products. So that's how it will look like for now, and let's see how it goes. Okay, we will first need to start working on a model for the products. Okay, file. Let me know if you guys can hear me properly. I can change your volume a bit. I recently changed my streaming software, so my settings are all messed up right now. So let me just know if you can't hear me well. Okay. So let us import Mongos in this file, and we will need a model. Sorry about that. I will max it. How about now? Is it good now? Oh, yeah, it should be schema, not model. Yeah. Great, thanks for that. Okay, it should be model and schema. Okay, let's create product schema. name will be a string, price will be number, this will be a nested object, I guess, an array of string, and this each field will be number. Okay, and this will be string. I think I pronounced it wrong. It should be EL. Same goes for this one. Okay, so a name field should be type of string. It's required. We will trim this field before saving it to the database, and minimum length should be 1, so that they can't put any product without. I think I don't need that because the field is already required. The required is true, so they can't really put any product without any name, so that's been taken care of. Let's work on the price. It should be type of number. This is also required. Was that a precision? There was a field for a decimal points in Mongos, so let me just find that. Should be not docs, it should be number. Thought I used that schema type in one of my project. I can't find it right now. It was a decimal type, but there was a different schema type for that. I don't really need it, but I think if I can find that, it will be great. It will be great. that's true, but it's a number field, so I don't think so we can use regex with the number fields. Um, yeah, it's for strings only. I think I will just skip it, I guess. And we can add some logic in the front end so that it will show 0.00. So I think, yeah, I will just skip it for now. I won't waste so much time in that one. We'll also need image. Type is string. And I don't think so I will keep it as required. So I can just do it like this. And the shops will be an array of string. And the order quantities will be an object. I think I can do it something like so. This way I can just put name of the stores in environment file. The thing is that I don't want to use the real name of the stores in the stream, so that's why I'm trying to use this workaround. This way I can add a proper store names in the environment file when I will deploy it for the store, and this way it will include the proper store names. Yeah, I think that's what I will do. Although I will be having issues in the front end as well for that. So if I use this thing, then in the front end I will need to also use a different config file for that. Yeah, I will figure out something in front end. It's number. Yeah, we can do that. Then or we can create a different order table which will include product ID and store ID. So if we create a different order table, then it will have a product ID it will have a store ID, and we can make a unique ID from both of these two IDs so that we don't make a duplicate entries for the same product for the same store. And then we can also include order quantity here. True, and then we don't need to keep track of the total order quantity on the in the back end. We can just do it from the front end. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I think that will be a better choice here. Okay, so let's go with that. So this, we don't really need this one, and we will make sure the timestamps are true. Okay. Let's export this schema as model. Let me just set up the ESLint first. I can't really work on project without that. I don't know how I'm doing it until now. Let me just do that. Slow tape depends. Yeah, we were using MySQL in our college projects, and the thing is, if I'm working with like if I'm working on a real world, a large project, I will definitely go with MySQL. But I think in the small projects, it is really good to go with Mongoose. It is a bit faster, so that's why I just chose it for this one. But yeah, if I'm working on a large project, I will definitely go with MySQL. Okay, let me just fix all the problems. We will work on order table later. In this stream, I think we will just focus on product for now. And yeah, we already created a product model, so we can work on different routes now. Yeah, sometime you need to like duplicate data a lot in MySQL to connect different tables, but I think it's much easy to maintain in the production environment. The company where I am working on, they use MySQL as well as MongoDB, and we do have hard time to maintain MongoDB sometimes. I think the both databases are cool. They both have different use cases. You can also if you are working on a large some real world project, then you might also want to go with a hybrid, like a one database which is a relational for some important data, I guess. Or and you can also use MongoDB for quick database queries and about those use cases. So yeah, although I do need to focus on MySQL as well. I haven't been using it for a while now, so I think I might use it in some other project. I just import it in the index file. I can just ignore that one, and I also don't need next in this one. Okay, I will add that right here. We'll also make sure that, so basically a products route will be only be doing creating, edit and deleting the product itself, the product details, and I don't want to change it. I don't want any other users to do it other than admin, so we will use the same middlewares right from here. And this shouldn't let any other users to make any changes to the products. Yeah, I will close the minimap. Okay. Let's run our server. Okay. Cannot find user.model. Oh, I thought it should have changed the import statements manually, I guess. And I was using it in the index file. and we can just let's just test our index route on products with some random message. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's the wrong one. It should be products router. Okay, it's still crashing. Okay, it's in the middleware file. And it's still crashing. Oh yeah, it's in the create admin file as well. Wait a minute. Oh, I just realized that I was making a mistake. I was never running this function. Create admin account. That's good to go. Let's just open Postman very quickly. Yep, the token is expired. That was expected. Let's just log in. We'll grab a new token. Let's try to send a request again. Should do this one. Did I make any typo in index file? Oh, it should be a get request. Okay. Yeah, it works now. And it will only work if the user is admin one. If let's go with just duplicate it. What was that route? Users and get request. Let's try with John. What was the password for him? I don't remember. Username or password is invalid. Also have John one. I forgot what password I set it. Controller.js, and the line is 23. It is failing on the compare password, so I think I used a different password for that. Just create another user very quick, very fast. It should be under here. Create a post route. Body will be okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think I used a different password for that one. And when I try to create a GET request, it should fail. Wait a minute. Update username and password. You didn't check if username and password are defined or not before changing it. Oh, are you talking about under the user's validator? Yeah, true. Yeah, I need to make sure that password username exists in the body. Yeah, true. Thanks for that. If requested body does have username, quick stretch. Then we will check it if the parent's username is equal to body username, and then if the password does not exist in the body, then we can just say that you don't have any changes, and we can just break the function right there. So thanks for the tape. Let's work for the products. I just realized that I made a mistake. The normal users will be making a GET request to all the products from the front end, so I think we will need to make sure that they can access it. So in the index file, we will just remove the user is admin, and now the GET request should access. Yeah, so that is nice. Okay, the GET route, we will just make a, we'll just import the product model here. Let's make this function async. Hey man, welcome to the stream. Okay, and let's just get all the products from the database. We just keep the empty object. We'll execute the function and we will. What was that? Thanks, Coder 3. So, products. Okay, we will just send this product in the response. I think we don't need any next function right there. Oh yeah, thanks. It should have a way. And we will make a response status to 200. We don't really need, I think I will just put message there, list of all projects. And I will also create a total products, and we can just do it with products.length. Yeah, I have seen. I was looking at your GitHub account a while ago, and I did say that you were working on Angular and React, so that is pretty cool. We are still working on the backend right now, so, and I haven't started Vue yet, so I think it will be interesting for now for you. Okay, so let's test it. And the line should be 0. Cool. So let's work on the create route. We are using Express for the backend. Okay. We will make sure that user is admin before we do anything else on this route. We will also need to make sure that the input is valid, so we will need to create a new file. Okay, let's just import joy. We need to create a object schema. The name field should be a type of string. We will trim it. This field is required, and that's all we need. Let's go with price field. Type is number. Num length is 0, so we don't we will not let users to add any values in negative form, so that's why I added this field. We will also make this field required. Then there was the image. Type should be, there wasn't any, oh, it does have a URL interface. That's nice. It is also required. We don't need any other validation on that one. And the shops should be a type of array, string array. Would this work in Joey? I guess so. And it's not really required. Let me just quick look at the product model. Yeah, that's all the validation we need for that one. So I can just write it like that. Yeah, I can add that for image validation, but I think they don't have very large user base. Maximum, I guess 4 or 5 people will be using it, and the only person who will be adding images for the product is admin, so that is just one guy, and I don't think so. I need to add the whole image validation for just this one, so I will skip it for now. If I would be working with a large user base, I would definitely add that image validation. We validate the request body, and then oh, we are not storing any images on our server. We are just, so whenever a user is grabbing image from the internet, something like, if they just go in Google Photos, let's find a product. He might be just grabbing product he might be grabbing the image from this any different sites, and if they can just the copy link address. That's the right one. No, it should be a copy image address, and then we can just save this whole URL on our database, and we can use this URL on the front end to grab this image on our site. So that's why I'm not storing any images on our site, because it will add a extra cost to the shops, and they don't really want to pay extra for just storing images if they can just use these URLs in the application. So that's why I'm going with this way. Then we will get a result. Result does not exist, which means the data is invalid, and we can so 409, I guess, for it should be conflict. It's yeah, I think 422 will be a better choice for lambda with one argument. Yeah, I know, but then it will. It's just because of the syntax style I'm using with ESLint. It will error. It will give me an error, so that's why I'm using the parentheses. Yeah, I have been using Airbnb style for a while now, and I'm really used to it with that. So that's why I just prefer this style, and there isn't any proper reason, I guess. I just stuck with Airbnb in the past. So if the data is right, then we will just continue the request. Also, we can do a request valid product and okay. And then we can just pass the result we got from the schema, and we can continue the request. We also need to make sure what we are getting in the result. Oh, it's fine, Koda. Sometimes it happens with me as well. I miss your streams as well. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, you have been streaming a lot lately, so it's fine. It's okay. I appreciate that you tuned in today. Let's add this validator in the create route. This should fail because the user is not admin, so that's nice, it is working. Let's just grab the admin account, admin token for admin account. And it should fail because the TAN is not function. Yeah, Postman is really cool, cool product. I was also using this in the past. Well, I was just, yeah, I think it was a different project, and I just grabbed the name for shopping manager from that project in this one. But yeah, you can also create a folder and you can just open, like, you can save the request with body and headers, and you can make the whole collection this way. You can also run test against them. For example, I have a test that status code is 200 and like that, and it's really useful when you are working with a large project, I guess. Just close that. Although but the coder, you are streaming the games which you like a lot, so that's a really good thing. Okay, so create the .tiny is not function. Oh, okay. Yeah, we will need to do something like this. This function will be async. Okay, let's take a short break. So if the data fails to validate against the create product schema, then we are setting a status as 422 and passing the error. Otherwise, we'll continue the request. Username is not allowed. True. So let's change the body. We'll set the name. It should fail because we don't have a price. Name must be type of object. Wait a minute. That's a type string. Why would it say that name must be a type of object? What? Oh, I have been using it wrong way. It's completely wrong validation. So name should be string and it's required. The price should be number, and this one has the precision of 2. the maximum number of decimal places allowed. So that's nice. And we can just do it require, and the minimum value is 0. Image should be string, and it's required. That's true, but if user are also adding a small description of the product in the name, they might use a space. So that's why I'm just creating as like a normal string. Array.items. Okay. Item should be show string. Okay. So that's all we need for the product. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I thought it will not include white spaces as well, so that's why. Yeah, we can definitely use that in the name. What was the function for that one? Yeah, the regex. I can also pass the name. Like this. Oh, okay. I really need to take a class on regex. I completely forgot how they usually work. I'm still very confused in different ways that I write it. So I I wish just it with just I think that's all we need for the validation. And if we make this request again, it should fail that price is required. Nice. Let's try to add tab in that. Cool. Yeah, it is failing if we add a tab in that. So that's nice. Let's add price. We can add this 12, I guess. Okay, image is required. What if I add with value with more precision? It is letting me to do that. Also, it shouldn't be letting me to do that because it should expect it like this one. Unexpected token. Oh, as our image. And shops, and those are not required, so we can just skip it for now. It should fail on the precision though. Let me just find the Joey precision. Not working. Let's make a request with 159. Yeah, so I think I can just yeah, we can definitely check it with the string as well. So let's just make it string, change the code bit, string, let's stream it. Maybe add a regex on that. Cool, so if I go with 12.15, it works. Thank you so much for this regex tips, Mr. PhD. It's your regex tips are really helping me with this project, so I really appreciate it. So the create route is working now. So once the product is validated, then what was the, it's right there. So at this point the product is validated, so we can just add it to the database. Let's create a new product. New product, I guess. So name will be from .body request valid product name. make it number. Okay, and then there is an image. Okay, let me just open the product validator. Oh yeah, yeah, it should be passport. Thanks. I'm making so many mistakes today. Okay, that's been taken care of. We will at this point we'll need to make sure that the ID we are using in the shops exist in our shop database. So okay, so let's create a new folder called shops. Let's require mongoose in this one. It will just have a name. Yeah, I think that's all they need. So a name will be a type of string. It's required. Oh, yeah, thanks. Should be required. Trim is true. And we will use the it should be a match, right? Yeah, that's the match. And there was a way to pass. Let me just grab that first. There was a way to add a name to match. So that's what I'm trying to find right now. Otherwise it will expose the regex on the front end inside the error message. So Yeah, I think that's how we'll need to do that. Yeah, looks like we don't have any option on the Mongoose side. I think it was on the Joy side where we can pass the name of the pattern. So yeah, we will use the same one as we used in the product model. Was it in product? We just grab this pattern. And I will also add this regex in the product model. Use match. Okay. And we can also we can make an inquiry with Mongoose. Yeah, we can do that find by ID, but user might pass multiple shops, so he might be buying Coca-Cola on from Walmart as well as from, or sometimes they also buy from Superstore. So they might pass multiple shops, and I don't want to make multiple queries to the database. I am trying to make one query so that we can check that if shop exists on the shop name exists in the shop database. Mongoose inquiry example. Yeah. So that is how we will make a query to shop database. So let's just import the shop. where I think it's called underscore IT is in just to make sure we will grab this in try and catch function, and we will just pass this to the error middleware. Okay. I don't think so. It's a promise. Is it? I never knew that. I thought it was just a function that execute. Oh, that's really useful. Thanks. Thanks. Okay, then we can just do it. We can just pass that to the next function. This will return us the shops. Okay. Oh yeah, I also need to do that. So console shops there. To make a wait on that, let's make this function async. Let's just log out the shops and let's see what we are getting. We'll need to add manually. So let's first try to add any random shop in the request. Can't I pass? Yeah, it should be like this. Line 22. Oh yeah, I forgot to add result in the request or valid product. Hey Divanshu, welcome to the stream. So in this stream I'm working on a project for local store where they want a solution to keep track of the order quantities of different products on the different stores, and currently we are working on the backend using Express.js, and later we will start working on the front end using Vue.js. So let me know if you have any questions about that. I will surely help you out. Okay, let's make a request. Okay, so I will need to pass dot value. result dot value. So this way I will have access to valid product inside this post request, and we can grab the values from that here. And as we don't have any shops, it should return an empty array. Cool. So basically it is failing because the ID is invalid, which means the data does not exist. So at this point we are breaking the request if the shop has invalid value. I will change a value a bit here because I don't want to show the message that object ID failed for value this. We just say that shop ID is invalid. And also shop, yeah, I think yeah, that's good enough. So we don't really need to store any values here. You can just remove it. So at this point all the data is validated, so we can just insert it to our database. With that, just response.status to 200. Message is that product successfully, and we can pass the created product. Yeah, we are using JavaScript for this whole project. Okay. This should still fail because we have invalid ID for shop. Let's create it manually. Shopping manager collection. We got shops. Save. Let's make a new entry. Yeah, it is using the JS engine. Okay. What was the function? Oh, it's insert. Yeah. Then it should be insert and name is insert is not a function. Let me just go to the was it Mongo? Yeah. Use shopping. Let me just make sure I called it name. Okay. So let's just find. Okay. So here is the ID for this one. And the product has been added to the database, so that's really cool. You can use single quote since it's JS after all. Yeah, true. I'm glad that the products route is working now. Why is there two products in that in this field? Shops, yeah, that's the wrong value. Yes. So the create route works now, and let's start working on the edit and delete route. And also, if we go to the get route for the products, and we are seeing the product in there. That's nice. So let's work on the edit route now. Patch, then it will be a product ID. We will also need to add the middlewares that the user is admin. Okay, so we will need to create another validator for edit route where all the fields are not really required. Also, I can move this line inside the validator. That will be a better choice. So it will make more sense to add that line. here. We just need to import shop. We just add the wrong value. Oh yeah, we need to make sure that okay, that's nice. So if I add 3, it will add the data in the database. The product has been created. Okay, so let's work on the edit validator. Request response next. This thing will be very similar to the create product schema, except that the values are not required. So you just grab that. Edit product schema, it's not required, but we are still matching with other values as well. Again, this is not required. Okay. You know what, I was planning to do it a bit different way on this one, that we will keep this field as required, and then under the controller for the edit route, we can make sure we will make a query to the product, and if the product exists, then we will compare the value to the validated product values that we got from the request body, and we will only make changes if those values exist. So from the front end will have the values of all the fields, and we will just send it to send those values along with the request. And yeah, I think I will go with that option. We just need to find a value for a proper name for create. I think it create edit, not sure what should I name it, just product validator, I guess. Just update it here. Rather than using create, we'll just use the product validator. Let's do the same here. So in this function, we will make sure that product exists, make changes to product only when needed. Okay, so let's go with that. And I think the find by ID will only require UID in that as a parameter. Let me make sure that it doesn't require anything else. What do you mean by that? Like, I'm confused that how you are. How can we do it in parallel? So, are you saying that under the validator function, we can? Okay, so you are saying that we can uh, validate the product while we can also keep validating the shop, right? Okay, yeah, yeah. So, but the thing is, we are also validating that the shop's value has an array of strings first. So, if that value fails, then we don't even need to make any request to a database. And that is the reason that I am avoiding to run both of promises in parallel. There was also a library called Joey Object ID, which will validate that the ID is a valid MongoDB data document ID. Yeah, I think I will use this one as well. So we are also validating that the fields values are valid object ID. Okay, let's grab that here. Okay, Joey.object ID is required, and we will pass the Joey object with that, and then we can do it that this is object ID. So if the request has invalid value, something like this, let's make a request again, fails to match the valid ID pattern. So yeah, this this function also has a very good error message which we can use in the front end, or I can just use yeah. So that's so in So that way we are validating that the string value is valid object ID, and if that object ID is valid, then we can make sure that those shop exist in our database. Okay, let's go to the index route. Let's get product ID from request parameters. Yeah, I can just use okay. Product find one, find by ID, and we'll pass the product ID. Execute the function. Let's list all the products. We'll scrap this one at this ID, and let's try to make a post request to that. It should be patch. Shops with value. Okay, let's just have a proper value. Okay, I will need a wait on that. And the product exists. Okay. So now we will make sure that now we will make changes to only those fields which has any changes, I guess. Sorry for weird words I used in the sentence. Okay, so let's start comparing the values. Name is equal to request dot valid product dot name. First of all, I will do something like this. Oh yeah, I can. I think I should catch it with the next function. And if the product does not exist, state is 404, and okay, so yeah, product does not exist. Thanks for that. So let's At this point, we will make sure that, so if there isn't any changes, we will just return, we will just end the query right there. So if for image, okay. I will need also, yeah, I will need to look through the shops array with that, or I can do it something like product dot shops join with comma is equal to so at this point all the values from product in database are same to the values that user has provided in the request, so we can just return to the we can just error out that status to 422, saying that data is invalid. That won't work if the order didn't match. Oh yeah, that's true. What will be a good way to compare those two arrays? Use regex and join it using a pipe. Okay, so as it's a string, so we do have a match function. I see, so we can do something like I will need to loop through the function, loop through the one array, right? And then I will match it with the join string of another one. Then request download value product. Let's take a break. I'm not sure how. So I can look through the shop invalid product and match it against the DB product shops, but how can I store values in that one? False match. Was apply this. DB product shops. Case insensitive. Wait a minute. Then I can do dot taste and I'll pass the shop in that. If the result is false, then I can just change the entire string. So are you saying it like TV product shops and match it with start valid product dot shops dot chime. Is it like, are you saying like this? And then we can get it. Let me just open that. Is a 2. Header 2 is 2 and join it with pipe character and match it with header 2 dot join with I will also need to change it new regular expression. Yep. Okay, so we can do it something like oh. Am I testing it with the wrong? Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what am I doing wrong in this one? Oh, okay. I thought so it should be okay, and then change it to 1. Oh, okay. Editor should join it with pipe. I'm still getting a bit confused on that one. I can also go through one of the shop array, and we can make sure that if the shop includes sorry, the joined string includes the shop, we can also find values like that one. Let's change that. Okay. You can just go to the request dot valid product dot shops. Okay. Like this. Yeah, let me just do that first. Okay, and then we can do regex dot test with array 2 dot join with pipe character. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I think we don't need that with the regex constructor. And oh, that works. That's nice. Oh, okay, so yeah, I got it now. So first we need to create a regex with, yeah, so let's do that. Join it with pipe character. Let me just fix this ESLint error. Then we can also do that shop regex dot test valid product dot shops dot join it with pipe character. Yeah, that's what can work. Let's set the status that 422. Otherwise, we will make changes to only those fields which are required. So if as far as I know, Mongoose will make upgrade the fields which has different values. So I don't think so we'll need to make any changes to basically we don't need to change. Sorry. So what I am thinking is the Mongoose library. It updates the products only those values which are updated in which has different values. So rather than I don't think so we need to do that. Like if we will compare it, that if those values are different and then we update that individual value, I don't think so we will need to do that. So if all the values are same, then we are obviously sending an error message that update data is invalid. Otherwise we will update the values on the database product. We'll update it with the valid product from request. And there is a field called image. Dot shops, and we will get that value from then we can just update the document in the database. We will need to go with the save one, I guess. Save. Set the status of 200. Messages that product has been updated successfully. The updated product is the TP product. Otherwise on the catch we will just pass it to the next function, and this should update the product now. Cannot read property name of undefined, line 49. 950. Yeah, it's a type of capital letter. Okay, let's try to. Okay, basically it didn't update any values and it should fail though. I'm not sure why it is working. It should fail at this point. I think it's because I will need to convert it to here it is. Yep, updated is invalid now. It is working now. So if I update the value from 15 to 16, has been updated successfully. If I try to do it again, it will fail. And it was also working with the shop ID because it before it had the random value we tried to add in the first request. So yeah, the edit route is working now. Let's remove the console log from here. And the last route that we need to take care of is the delete one. Dot delete. Response next. We will also need to make sure that the user is admin. And it's the same code from here. Just comments. It will be the same thing until here. If the product doesn't exist. Otherwise, we will remove this product from the database. Okay. Students 200. The message will be that response.json, and then the message will be product has been deleted successfully. Deleted product ID is from, we'll grab it from the product ID variable. Should be product ID now, and at this point the product should be deleted, and if we face any error we will just pass it to the next function. Okay, so let's just try to delete the product. First of all, the total products are 2, and if we delete this one, Product has been deleted, and now there is just one product, so it works now. If you try to make a patch request with that one, this one, and the product does not exist, it should fail that. Yeah. So that's all for the product route. In the next, I produce, I don't need that. In the next stream, I will be working on shops routes. It will be pretty straightforward because we are just have one field in the shop table, and later I will also start working on the orders table. So I think that's all for the today's stream. I think I have been live for around 2 hours, I guess. 2 hours and 28 minutes. Yeah. So thanks all for tuning in. Thank you, Mr. PhD, for helping me with the regex. Have a good day, guys. Take care.